how to obtain a U.S. DOT number MC authority for my trucking company.
This is FMCSA Compliance Q&A from Acrisure Truck Group. Take it away, Mark.
One of the important parts of Part 390 is the actual registration with FMCSA in order to obtain an individual operating authority in terms of for hire, and also just your basic US DOT number. That can be found in Part 319. And this is the form that's required to be filled out for the first time a carrier decides they're going to begin operation in interstate commerce. This again, as we talked about, what is a commercial motor vehicle? In the previous session, we discussed it starts at 10,001 pounds or more of a vehicle being used in the furtherance of a commercial enterprise. Even if it's one truck, they would need to obtain the US DOT number using this form called the MCS 150. So they're required to file this to get the number, and then they're also required to update it every 24 months at a minimum. It's also very important that you properly identify the carrier and status on this MCS 150, including the legal name and or the trade name as used by that particular carrier. In addition, an important part of this is that you're properly recording the number of power units and the vehicle miles that are traveled. Those factor ultimately into the CSA scoring system. In addition, before a carrier would even start any operation in interstate commerce, they must have filed and obtained their US DOT number. If perhaps they forgot or did not do that, or they showed themselves as intrastate only, and they were stopped or caught across state lines, it would immediately change to a compliance review being conducted on that company for what they call inappropriate operation. So it's important the MCS 150 is obtained prior to operation to get the DOT number, and it maintains updated, and at least every 24 months that update must occur. Once that DOT number is obtained, the next requirement is that the carrier must mark on both sides of the power unit the name, legal name, or the trade name of that carrier on both sides of the power unit. And also to be required to display it on both sides is, in conjunction with that legal name or trade name, the US DOT number. Now this has to be on contrasting colors, so of course it's readily visible. And as they say, it must be readily visible for at least 50 feet. And you do have the opportunity, if somebody's doing a temporary operation, there is an opportunity to either permanently mark it with paint or other type materials, or they may use a magnetic sign or the like in order to fulfill this particular requirement. If they're going to be operating for hire in interstate commerce, then they must obtain MC authority. MC authority is issued to for hire carriers, and it's only for interstate operations, meaning freight that originates in one state, ends in another state. This is a one-time application, a fee of $500. It's on the form OP1, is the FMCSA form that's used for it. And again, this is just for interstate authority. If for some reason a motor carrier is doing some pickups and deliveries for hire wholly within a state that's not interstate in nature, they might have to obtain additional authority from that individual state. Each state varies by the requirement for intrastate motor carrier authority. Another responsibility is once you apply for the operating authority, then you also have the requirement to file proper insurance with the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. And the proper insurance filing, generally for value-wise, if you're hauling just general commodities in interstate commerce for hire, is $750,000. One point I want to make in the Part 387 filing requirements is that if they are an interstate carrier and they haul any quantity of hazardous materials, they technically will require $1 million of liability insurance on file with Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration as their financial responsibility requirements. So this is rather important if you're working with a carrier that hauls any form of HM across state lines. Make sure they're not utilizing just the basic $750,000, that they actually have on file the $1 million. Now, as far as having it on file, private carriers are not required to place insurance on file with FMCSA, but they still must have the same minimum levels of insurance.